We're checking into Psyck.
Psyck.
Yo, check it out. It's a sick discussion.
You tuned in to Psyck Discussions. You are now listening to a Psyck Discussion.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of Psyck Discussion. As always, we actually have another super dope conversation, but first, allow us to reintroduce ourselves. As
My
always,
name is Hov.
It's your boy, Reggie So Dope.
It's your guy, Devin. I ain't gonna say boys.
You
the guy,
wanted to
Devin.
be me.
I almost said it.
You wanted to be me.
It's your boy, guy.
So I want to be you so bad.
It's your father. Like, what?
Daddy. Out of Pappy.
Next up, across from me.
Okay, yo, it's Marv. What's up, y'all?
What's happening? Sam Dink IV, you already know.
Cool.
The whisper.
All right. He did whisper it. So today's conversation is we're actually gonna go a little deep today.
Talk on it. Speak
On
on
social
it, speak
media
on
a
it.
lot, man. What I've been seeing is people ask like, who do black men like venting to?
Right.
And people be like, my PlayStation, God, this
not
blunt,
expecting that,
this
bro.
bottle.
This
You
good
know what I mean? Like,
Cracking
No,
jokes.
For real. But like, yo, black men and just people in general inventing, it just doesn't seem like it's that big of a thing.
Yeah.
And so that's what we're gonna talk about today. So first, I want to know from y'all, man, like, do y'all even think that like venting is beneficial at all?
For me, I definitely think venting is beneficial. And I actually just learned this within like the last 4 years, so I'm not going to sound like a whole expert.
Right.
Because I used to not say anything about how I'm feeling,
Yeah.
Facts.
like what's going on, like
I can merch it.
anything. Wow. Being attacked on my own podcast.
Damn.
I mean, you know, it's just easier to not say anything. But recently, I've seen the light about venting. I feel much better. You know,
Understood the benefits.
I see the
seen the
benefits,
light.
the pluses.
True,
But I'm gonna throw it to Marv real fast.
No, we okay, you know what? We not
I don't want to speak on it. I don't want to speak on
Back to
it.
you, Ollie. It's gonna rain. Hey, when that nigga say it's raining sideways. Hey, I felt that.
I'm done. Yo.
My fault.
Nah,
Yeah,
you
suave,
good, bro. You
man.
good.
You think it's beneficial at all?
Kind of like Devin with me. I didn't always view it that way. Like I was just kind of internalize things, and I don't even know how I used to work through it. Thinking back, like I think I just like honestly brushing under the rug, but it do got its benefits to it. So, and it takes time to grow into like being comfortable with talking about those things. And we can go. I'm gonna go deeper when we go more into this conversation, but. To answer,
you gonna save it for later, huh?
It definitely.
Just
Talking about
what's
what's later? 5
He
minutes.
just
I'm not
answered
gonna
the
ramble.
question.
I'm not gonna ramble for like 30 minutes. Like, Sam, so what do you think?
I'm just heating up the oil. He just heating up the oil. He ain't even cooked the
Talking
chicken
about
yet.
toss it to Sam.
Nah, but first of all, you niggas are hilarious because we was like instantly, oh cool, we about to make it serious. We've been laughing the first 5 minutes of this bitch.
We black. We laugh at our pain.
Exactly. And that is venting right there in itself. Niggas be
thought he
cracking
did something that way.
He set himself up for the kill. I'm gonna kill him with this
Got
one.
you, bitches.
instantly. You know what I'm saying? You gotta set up the alley oop for
I
yourself.
feel you.
Okay, that's like traveling though, but like do your
Off
shit.
the backboard.
Off the right, you know, off the he's. But yeah, no, that's what I mean. Really, that's what black men. That's how we vent. You know what I'm saying? We be cracking jokes. We be laughing at our pain. We be like, what's his face said in that stand up he had? He was like, "Guess I got a big nose." Moving right along, like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
That sound like Deion Cole. That sound
nah,
like something Deion
I
Cole
think it
would
was
do.
Cat Williams.
Ah.
Yeah, but Deion Cole stand up was hilarious.
I ain't gonna get into that. I was gonna say something that's gonna get deep into a whole nother conversation.
Nah,
Okay, I'm glad that all of y'all feel like that shit's beneficial because like
Oh,
that
damn,
was
you asked
it
me
would have been a
for
terrible conversation if
Yeah. Talking about podcast over.
right.
that's the end.
Instantly.
Nah, it would have been terrible if y'all was like hell no. But since we all feel like it's beneficial, man, I want to know like how do each of us, how do we vent like as individuals? Because it does come off as differently. Some people it might be jokes, right? Other people there's so many different ways. So like, how do y'all vent?
For me, I'd say a nice phone call to somebody. It really depends on what's going on. Sometimes I'm in the mood to do like a phone call, or I might just write it down to like reflect on it later with somebody, or not. You never know. Or write it down in my notes. But it really just depends on what's going on and what I'm in the mood for, honestly.
Okay.
Big facts.
I feel you.
What? At first, for me, I used to crack jokes. That's all it was. But just to answer your question before, because I didn't, I just made a whole another statement. Yes, I do think it's beneficial. And the way I do it is I journal. I keep a journal on me daily. You know what I'm saying? I try and get at least once a day in. If I don't get once a day in, maybe I'll make it up the next day, 2 days or something like that. But I gotta write it out.
I love that.
I got you.
Yeah.
Me personally, I'm more vocal than anything. I like to talk. So I think I got like certain friends I talk to about certain problems.
Yeah.
I feel like I don't want to be a burden to one friend. I feel like they say they're going through something and I know it. I don't want to throw my problems on them. Like even if I need just a listening ear, like, bro, it might be way too much for you to handle. Like, I don't want to be talking and you not paying attention. Like, okay, you gonna make me feel some type of way. Yeah. So I like to talk.
Here I am pouring out my heart.
Bro, look, you're going through it. You like, huh? Like, bro, come on. But so I definitely like to talk to friends, and like I was saying, I told y'all before, I go to therapy now too. So that helps me out. Like, those are my main
That's
two.
raw. How's that?
Yeah.
It was tough. I ain't gonna lie, it's tough, bro. It's rough.
See, I ain't never been to therapy, but I'm interested to go.
Bro, I'm like a huge advocate for therapy now.
Oh,
like,
yeah?
Trust me. I'll be like, hey, go.
At first, she was like, fuck that shit.
Bro, I was like,
I don't want that shit, bro.
bro, like I said,
Miss me with that therapy shit.
bro, I feel like my main excuse was like, bro, I'm about to turn 26. Like, I ain't got no more insurance for you, so I can't go. But I'm like, bro, that was like my scapegoat. Like, but then it hit me like, yo, how much they charging? Like, I fuck that bread off anyway. Like, I might as well pay for something that's gonna be beneficial to me. I hear mental health is like, if your health is wealth, pretty much. Like, not to sound corny or nothing, but that's real talk.
That's really how it is.
So to answer your question, bro, it's tough, but I advocate for it. I tell people just to stick it out, because you gotta know what you're trying to get done. Like, set some goals for personal goals for you.
What's crazy is I feel like I would go to my therapist if I got a therapist and not be fully 100. Like,
I'm not gonna go to the therapist and lie.
you feel me? Like, not even
lie.
But like, think about it though.
Like,
you really gotta confront your demons, right? That shit hard, right?
It's hard.
And you can't. But at the same time, it's like, all right, bet I'm not about to pay nobody to lie to them type shit. You know what I'm saying? But it's just like you gotta accept yourself as yourself.
That's what it is. That's crazy that you say that. That's actually what I was going through personally.
Yeah.
I think like the first 2 months, like, I knew the things I wanted to talk about, but I didn't want to face them. Like, it's just way too hard. So, and I don't know, like, I just started writing stuff down, kind of like y'all said. I wrote down like the main points that I wanted to get like off my chest. Like, these are the things I know that's really bothering me, and these are the things I want to move past. And once I just accepted, like, yo, look, I'm paying this person to help me out.
Right.
Like, I just need to really work through this stuff. And I think that helped me with my friends too. So like, now that I feel like I'm an open book, I can talk about damn near anything. And therapy really helped me realize, like, in terms of myself, like, I process a lot of the things I feel like that are wrong with me. It's like nobody can, like, the judgment people cast on me is not gonna make me feel bad. So like, I feel like I've honestly projected those things on myself already. So it's like, yo, I'm gonna get this off my chest. Like, you can give me some feedback or not. Like, but if it's negative, you're not gonna make me feel bad. Like, okay, I've already been through that. Like, I'm starting. Like, I'm working through it already.
And can't nobody make me feel worse than me.
Exactly. That's exactly what I'm saying. Exactly what I'm saying.
He really thinks
Damn, I've been dropping gems.
Got him again.
I've been dropping.
Who did?
This conversation, I'm gonna kill him today.
He got his notes open. He got all his quotables.
Hey, real talk
Feel
though.
me? The Sama booth.
Nah, so I think he did not go
Go.
to
Please.
I'm done. Episode
No.
over.
But anywho, Reggie.
Yeah. We're gonna sit Samables right next to the 50-second steak.
Oh,
Got it.
yeah, you just had to
If
go
y'all don't
there.
get it, y'all gotta
See,
watch
I'ma
these
have to
episodes,
I'ma have to
fam.
edit that too.
Nah, so that's super dope. So
Yeah.
for me, venting takes many forms, especially when I got past the stigma that you only need to vent when things are wrong. You know what I mean? Like, same thing with therapy, right? You don't just need to talk when things are bad. Like, you really need to get stuff off your chest when things are good, especially being people who come from like little to nothing. Like, we don't know how to handle success.
Right.
Yeah.
But like, we also don't know how to handle downfalls. And so one of the forms it takes for me is poetry.
Gotcha.
What's crazy is 80% of my poetry the world will probably never hear.
Damn.
Like, that's just the reality, man. I got a
Damn.
notebook full. I have notes in my phone full of poetry, and just like my style, of course it like rhymes and all that other stuff, and there's these metaphors, but like also, just like I'm in my real life where I just like to get to the point, it's like not all of my poetic works is like, oh, leave it to your imagination.
Right.
Like, because I speak to be understood. So in there, it's like, yo, here's the situation. Like,
Right.
you don't got to look for the metaphors
Ain't
and
no
go in the
metaphor.
circles. It's
This
like,
is the
nah, actually,
metaphor.
this is what it is.
Right.
And like, that's the beauty of like poetry for me. So like most of the times when I'm writing, it won't just be like, oh, well, today was shit. I wanted to kill a motherfucker. You know what I mean? It won't be that. It's like this super poetic work that is like, bro, were you upset? Were you happy? But
Damn,
it's like,
that's
that's
crazy.
just how it expresses, like it comes out.
That's super dope though.
Yeah, that's just how my brain
That's
works, bro.
ironic that it's so dope.
Oh my God.
Ooh.
on today?
Man,
What is
this
in the air?
Crazy, bro.
What is in the air?
This can't be real.
Nah.
Hold on.
Puns ain't
Hold
it.
on.
These puns ain't it.
Hey, Sam, bro.
Sigh.
Good dad jokes. Oh shit.
But Suave, you said something really dope, man. Like when you venting to somebody, it's important to know, for them to know, like, do you need feedback or if you just need to get something off your chest? Because sometimes people do like, well, nah, what you need to do, I didn't ask you for shit. I just wanted you to listen.
Right.
You know what I mean? So have y'all experienced that? Like sometimes where people just giving you feedback you didn't want?
You know what though? I'm gonna say this. I used to be that person to
I
give
love that.
feedback because like
Yeah.
like just to throw some controversy in that question, right? I used to be that motherfucker. Even though like people may or may not have been asking me for that, I am such a person that's a problem solver. Like I like solving problems. I like figuring shit out, knowing the solution, getting to the end of the goal, right? Sometimes people problem is they got goals and don't know how to achieve them, right? Some people problem is knowing how to achieve goals but not having those goals, right? And it's like, damn, I could do all these things and just be a doer type shit, or I can, you know what I'm saying? So that's also something I've been like working with myself,
okay.
just on some, okay, cool, like you don't need to hear my response or what you should do or what would solve your problems that's going on mentally, because I don't know. I mean, you've expressed to me on this scale, right, on a minute scale, your problems, but I might not even know the depth, right? I just need to be here to you just need to say it,
Kinda listen. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And I definitely would say, just to bounce off our previous topic, that's how I vent. I just write. I don't necessarily like have no poetic, you dig? I just be like, okay, cool. I woke up today, right? I had some breakfast and XYZ, and then maybe I get into what troubled me throughout the day, or I'll get into what made me feel good throughout the day. Like
I got you.
it'd be straightforward, but that's what it be. Yeah.
See, me personally, if I'm venting to someone, like I think the people that I do vent to, I don't even say they caught on, but I go to people and talk to them for the feedback. Like if I feel like I never want to just vent, like just to give an ear, like just to need an ear. I want feedback. Like usually it's something
same.
Usually
Same,
I'm going back and forth in my head about it. Like I have an answer I want to hear. Like let me hear somebody else view it from my point of view.
Right.
And if they tell me the opposite, I feel like it puts things into perspective. Like okay, let me challenge myself to think and view the problem a different way. Yeah. So
I'm definitely
so
that same
if
way,
if I'm ever venting, I always want an ear back.
Yeah.
I mean, I always want feedback. Like I don't want to just get it off my chest. Like no, I need to hear something.
But
I need to hear something back in return.
Yo, I'm also that motherfucker that when I'm venting, it be about some shit that I know I'm right about. So I don't want to hear nothing wrong. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to hear nothing wrong with my venting. So like, it's a double-edged sword.
interesting.
There.
That's
It's crazy because
interesting.
I do be wanting feedback, but at the same time, I be in such a known way that I'm correct type shit on some selfish shit.
Egotistical, let's call it what it
definitely,
is. This is all
definitely. Look,
ego.
we can break this shit down right now. You feel me?
Make
Like,
sure, all the
yes,
receipts.
sir. Yes, sir.
It's like,
Yes,
this is
sir.
what happened.
Right, but at the same time, you know, it'd be situations where you would agree with me. Like 9 times out of 10, I like to look at things from different perspectives. Like I be trying to calm myself down by being like, okay, cool. Like maybe they thought of it this way and X, Y, Z, blah blah blah. But if it's some shit, and I'm off the, you know what I'm saying? I'm off the heezy with it. Like you also would be off the heezy with it. Like
So you
you
want
would be
them
upset.
to-
So I mean, they would. 9 times out of 10, I feel like a person would agree with me already.
Okay.
But I do be wanting that feedback.
So when you know they not agree with you, you just be like, fuck it, I'm not
I'm
gonna
not
talk
even
about
gonna talk
it.
to you.
Because you know you're wrong. Hold on.
Toxic.
You gonna tell me I'm wrong.
Toxic.
That's what I'm gonna go to my therapist for. You feel?
The one you don't have
The
yet.
one I don't have yet.
All right.
I'm gonna find one though. I got
I
insurance.
got you.
Shade.
Hey, now that 26 shit was real. I was like,
bro.
damn, I gotta pay for my own insurance now. No,
Hated it.
no.
Well, I'll be 26 this year, guys.
Okay.
I'm on my own insurance already, though, so it's fine.
Ooh, big
Oh,
ball.
Okay, yeah, hey, right.
Shout out to my
All
job.
right, big
Flex,
money.
but okay.
Big money.
Okay.
Nah, yo, you know what's interesting is though, like, I think you do have to be very smart about the person you vent into. Like, so I can be like a perfect person to vent to, or I can be completely chaotic. And I say that like, for real, I know me, so like that's why I typically ask like, yo, do you need feedback or you just need to vent? Because I need to know what type of friend you need me to be.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like if you want me to be sound-minded, level-headed Reggie, I need to know that up front. I even ask like, yo, what Reggie do you want? Because sometimes like, oh, you mad? Let me get mad with you. I'm that friend. Like, what's up? Fuck everybody. Like, I'm literally one of the best and worst people that you can vent to. So I need to know like, what do you need from me?
Right.
So I can support you in that way.
Reggie ready to be like, are you dumb? Like, what are you talking about?
Like real talk, cause then I might treat you like real talk. You might come to me bearing your heart out, and I'm like, bro, you're stupid. Like you don't see the stupidity in
Right.
this. So like, I need you to tell me like, what are you expecting from me
Yeah.
before you even give me all this?
Right.
Because I want to best support you.
Just know I want you to be that friend that come knock the nigga out. You know what I'm saying? I want you to be that friend. Come handle my lightweight. You feel me?
I'm done.
Facts. Good to know. Good to know.
I'm gonna drink to that.
Be on my side. Be on my side.
I got you.
Have y'all had like bad experiences with venting with people?
I don't think I have. I mean, I'm a pretty private person, so if I'm venting to you, then I know you're like ready to hear it. I just
Yeah.
don't be venting to anybody, so I feel like I really haven't had like a bad experience with it.
I feel like I don't surround myself but positive people. You know what I'm saying? I would never want to even be. If I was surrounded by a negative person, and I just felt a negative vibe, I would shut down. I would shut down too. But like for the most part, anybody I surround myself with, I know is positive. If I'm gonna like hit you up to hang out with you, or whatever the case is, like I know you smooth. And if I did have to say some shit, like I know either you would say something that was in my best interest, or you would just give a good perspective.
Yeah.
Marv?
I'm trying to think. Have I had any bad experiences? I don't think so. Like, honestly, kind of what Dad was saying. Like beforehand, I would be kind of like shut off. Like if I think somebody might give me like some negative feedback or like somebody didn't want to hear, I'll just be like kind of closed off to even having conversations. But like I said, if I'm talking to you about it now,
Like,
like
I
bro,
know
if you
that-
can say
here.
anything, like I'm not scared
here.
of you throwing stuff in my face. Like you can put me on blast about stuff. I'm probably gonna laugh. Like okay, I've already accepted this. That's why I was talking about it. Otherwise,
Therapy has
bro,
done you well.
You're a goofy, like bro. That's what I'm talking about it for. I just want some feedback from a different perspective. Probably like maybe you see something I don't view it that way. So there's nothing you can say that's probably gonna hurt me honestly at this point.
Facts.
Wasn't always this way though. I can definitely say that.
Facts.
Wasn't always.
I
this
can
way.
merch it.
Wasn't always this way.
What about you, Reggie? So dope.
I have.
Yeah?
I have, man.
What was that like?
Tell us more.
Right.
Go deep.
Speak on it.
Go
Speak
deep.
on it. Speak
So
on it.
just like I said, like yo, I need to know what you're expecting from me before the conversation start. Like there have been times where I haven't honored that same mantra for somebody else, and so I would call people, not what you doing, how are you even in I didn't care what space you was in. Like I would pick up the phone, call you, hello, man, let me tell you why this bitch, and literally just get straight into it. I don't know if I'm on speaker. I don't know what you can, I don't know what you doing. Like, you know what I mean? So there have been times where I have completely disregarded, what my friends or what my people were doing, and I just jumped into my moment, right? And then that created like awkward moments in the conversation. You know what I mean? Like,
No way.
dead serious. You're literally getting this silence, and there's some silence where it's like, all right, they're listening.
Yeah.
And then there's some silence where you're like, this nigga scrolling through his phone, probably muted me and talking crazy because I didn't even think to ask, like, are you even in a space to where you can, like, converse with me right now?
Facts.
Yeah.
So just disregarding the person's time and, like, halfway through my rant, it just felt weird.
It's crazy. That made me think of something. I wouldn't say it was a bad experience for me, but I did catch on to me as a person. Like if I'm talking about something and I feel like someone's like over sympathetic with me, it feels phony, and it feels like don't like bro. Even if you like don't agree with what I'm saying, or you giving any feedback, like you don't have to be like, oh, like I feel for you, like I understand where you're coming from. Like I'm not that person that needs that.
Yeah.
Like.
No.
You can say absolutely like nothing. I'll be like, okay, cool. But if you do too much, I'm like, okay, you just doing like you. It's kind of fake to me. So
Right.
that would honestly shut me off from someone.
Yeah.
Like is this
Mark,
real?
like,
Like,
what's
do
to
you
you?
really
What's
feel
going
for
on?
me?
Right, every
Like,
time you talk, like, okay,
like,
Right.
I understand. Like I feel for you. I'm like,
How?
Do you
how,
feel for me?
How?
like,
How?
bro, I didn't get to the big party. I didn't get to the climax yet. How do you feel for me? Like, but there's more.
I think though people like that. So empathy is, and that's gonna be a whole nother conversation, right? But like empathy is like such a scary place because people don't know when to be empathetic or when to be sympathetic, right? And so when a person is doing too much to try to prove to you like I've experienced the same
Exactly.
thing,
Right.
they stop listening and instead they're waiting for their moment to jump in.
Yeah.
They're like holding
Right.
their titties to jump into the rope. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
they're just waiting for their moment to prove to you that they get it. And it's like, yo,
Yeah.
that's not why I'm talking to you.
Yeah,
Right.
Like you making it about you now, and I'm trying to vent.
Right.
Relax.
And they think that them sharing a sob story with you during your sob story is gonna be like, oh, okay, cool. Like two negatives make a positive. No.
Like, no, now we both sad.
Right. Exactly.
I'm
Like,
done.
Yo,
instantly.
that just reminded me of another bad venting experience I had.
No. Speak on it. Speak on it.
Like, so typically when you're venting, it's probably an extreme, right? Something has happened that either has you super happy, super pissed, super sad,
Yeah.
super something. And like, if you are not aware of the person you're venting to, like triggers, like that could also completely, that can fuck up a lot of stuff.
True.
But then y'all, like,
True.
here you go venting, trying to get something off your chest, and then it could be something like sexual assault or something racist or just something family related. Like you talking about a father to a person who never knew theirs. Like
Yeah.
not being aware of the listeners' triggers, you know what I mean? And now, even though they just took that weight off of you, you just gave them a load they wasn't anticipating.
Facts.
So you saying that was
Facts.
some shit you was involved in?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah. Listen, I used to be very self-centered. Okay. I know me. I have no shame.
Right.
You know what I mean? And at one
crazy.
point, I just felt like it was Reggie's world.
Yeah.
And so I would just call people, just pull up, like it was about me, listen to me.
Oh, you
roll
saying
with
you
me.
was the person that was venting to like?
Yeah, and like talking about some serious stuff, not even thinking about like, yo,
Right.
how is this triggering my listener?
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
And it sucks when you like talking to a person who's a good person, and so they're just sitting here taking it all in,
Right.
knowing the thoughts that are playing in their head.
Right.
Right,
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Like I think that's just it's a bad experience because now it's like now that I feel better, I noticed like oh you've
Yeah.
changed drastically.
Yeah.
All right, gotta go. Hang up.
Bye.
Call.
Nice talking to you.
Hey.
Like, yeah, I know you ain't had no father, but man, mine ain't being shit right now. Type shit. Like, whoa.
Like real talk, that
At
could be
least you
considered.
got an ain't shit father. Like,
That's very insensitive, to be honest.
yeah.
Ooh, that's another conversation.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go into that one right now.
Yeah.
It's I
That's
feel
a
like it's quite the
conundrum.
conundrum.
It's crazy that y'all haven't had terrible ass venting experiences.
Nah,
Yeah,
Don't
I
be
didn't vent
venting.
to nobody.
We just started venting.
last week.
We talking about? We gotta get to.
We used
gotta
to
get to that.
internalize this shit, man. We
Facts.
used to be here.
Be bottled up, about to
Right.
explode.
Exactly. We was that can that you opened it and there's another lid underneath it.
Mad. Mad all the time for no reason.
Right.
Well, for a reason, just don't know why. How to express it.
Okay, so something that might be relatable then, right? Like, what type of people should you vent to? Right, because I know we're talking about like close friends, but like, what are those characteristics? What is it about a person that you know, like, all right, this is a good person I can vent to?
Damn. Oh,
Yeah.
you just dropped a bomb on us. I don't think we was
It's
ready for
silent
that one.
now.
Right. I don't think we was ready for
Since you
that
niggas
one.
had great ass new venting
Right.
experiences, gotta shake the table.
Instantly.
I feel like for me personally, I just like kind of know that the person I'm about to vent to is ready to like be vented to. Like I saw this one quote. It said like before you vent to a friend, first check in to see if they have the mental space for it right now, and be prepared to respect their answer. So it's like if I go to vent to Reggie and I know this is a lot about to be dropped on him, I'm like, first off, yo, what up, Reggie? You good? How's your day going?
Right.
Before I get to
Butter 'em
being,
off. Look.
my day is trash. This happened. This happened.
Facts.
Like I've literally done that to Reggie before.
Legit.
But you asked him how his day was first.
Yeah, I like always.
nice of you.
Usually before I vent to somebody, I kind of like check in first.
Right,
I'm not just gonna be
right.
like, "Hello, yeah." So this is what happened.
Devin definitely asks like, "Yo, do you have time? Like, what are you doing?"
Right.
And we developed a system too where like if it's a phone call, it's like, all right, this might be for real.
Right,
If
right,
it's FaceTime,
yeah.
it's some
It's-
comedy
yeah,
in here.
it's joking.
So you
Yeah.
gotta develop a system, but that's a dope quote, bro.
Yeah, I would probably say the person would ask me if I'm okay, right? Because I probably would be, typically I'm, you know what I'm saying, rambunctious, like I'm bubbly, all that shit, you know, in your face, XYZ, talkative, social, all that. If I'm not being that and someone's like, oh, what's wrong with you?
Well, what's to you?
That's inviting, right? Exactly, to me, right? But that's only if I'm in the mood to vent. But that, to me, would say this is a person that wants to be that person,
Yeah.
right?
Even for me, I'd be feeling like that's like, do you really care about how I feel right now? Like,
Or
I'm
do
that
you
kind
just
of
want
person.
me to be
Or-
like the nigga I usually am?
yeah. Well, it's-
I mean, they care, in my opinion, right? Because if you're not being that person, if they notice that you're not being that person, right, then I feel like okay, cool, I want you to be normal. Like, I want you to be regular. I want you to be the happy person you are. And you're not being that right now. So,
But I think that's weird, only because like everybody's you're different. I'm not expecting people to be my bubbly friends to be bubbly every day. You know what I mean? Like I'm not expecting my depressed friends to be depressed every day because then we're not friends.
but I feel like there's a way, you know if somebody's down. Yeah, you might not be bubbly all the time if you're a bubbly person, or you might not be, XYZ, but I feel like you can tell when someone's like uneasy, right? If you have social cues and you can pick up on people and they are your friends, right? Like, you know the difference between bubbly, like, because you're happy one day, and just like chill because you're just like content one day, like you chilling, but then you also know like, oh damn, you going through something right now. I can tell. Like, I'm gonna ask you what's wrong, cause I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's just me because, like I said, I really don't surround myself with people other than people that I consider vibey people, like people I can vibe with.
I get what you're saying.
So
I get what you're saying.
That's like really dope. Like I'm in such a space now because at first I used to be that friend where I would like look for the cues and all of that other stuff. I'm just not there in life anymore.
Yeah.
Like I just do not assume you're not good. And that's maybe
it
that's
also
coming
gets
from a
kind of
selfish.
tiring to
Yeah.
like be that person to be. Are you okay?
You all
good?
right?
You all right?
Checking
How are
for
you?
everybody,
You
like,
good?
bro.
You good?
Oh, for real.
Well, yeah, it's definitely a balance that has to be like met.
I mean, shit, I'm definitely not the person that's checking like all the time. But like I feel, like I said, I feel like I know. I don't give a fuck. Like I know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? I feel like I bet cool. Clearly you going through some shit. Like
feel you.
you damn near chin in your chest, like like your
I'm
head
like,
is
all right,
low.
okay, I have to ask now. What's
You
going
feel
on?
me? Like,
Look,
yeah.
I
I mean,
damn,
because
I
I'm
gotta
always
ask.
walk up like, what's good, my nigga? Like, you good? What's popping? You know what I'm saying? Everything, like, but not like you good, like on some you good, but just like introduction. Like, what's up? I ain't seen you in a minute. Give me the lowdown.
So that's
type
interesting to me because you choose to vent to people that you cool with when they ask. So
Right.
I just personally think like you would be more considerate. I'm not saying you're wrong for the way you approach me first off, but it's just interested to hear like I would think you'd be more considerate. Like, yeah, I appreciate when people ask me, so I'm gonna ask other people I'm cool with. It's just interesting.
What you mean? That's
So-
what I'm saying. I do. Like when I notice that like when people notice I'm down because I rarely be down, they'll ask me. So when I notice
Oh, when
people
you
be
notice
down,
people are-
yeah,
oh,
it's the
okay,
same
okay,
thing.
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
Okay,
I'm just
okay.
saying.
I
Like he had
misunderstood
made
you.
the point like,
okay.
you can't be the nigga that's always asking people if they alright. I'm not that nigga.
Got you.
Like because I can. I mean I don't. I naturally pick up on the social. I'm not looking for them. I just see them. I mean, I don't have six senses, but you feel me? Like, call it that.
You can just tell.
I could just, yeah.
I like what you're saying.
And so then as the listener, right? So like I'm one of those people where I say, don't ask me how I'm doing because I'm gonna give you the truth, right? So if you're like, yo, bro, what's going on, man? How you feeling? I'm like, yo, shitty.
What's
like,
wrong?
I'm that person.
I mean, do you
right?
feel like speaking on it? That's what I probably.
Yeah.
do,
Okay. That's all I was gonna say. Because some people,
like, cause yeah, motherfuckers do hit you with the what's wrong. You got it, bro.
some people lie though. Like you'll ask somebody like, yo, how you doing? Like, are you good, bro? And they be like, yeah, I'm alright. And so like if you don't understand tone or if you don't understand diction, you like, all right, cool, my
Right.
nigga straight. Meanwhile, like he at the end of his rope. You know what I
Type
mean?
shit.
So
Yeah.
like, how do you support that person? How can you help that person if they fucking lying? Because me, I stop caring. Like I
Right.
stop assuming. Like I'm gonna ask you,
Yeah.
but then also I'm gonna feel shitty if something bad happens to you or
Yeah.
like your life is in shambles.
Right.
But it's like, but you lied. Like,
It's your fault.
What did you do?
It's your fault. You committed suicide.
Oh!
That's kind of where I was going.
That's
Sam
what you
said,
were saying.
Y'all
Whoa,
gonna cancel
whoa.
anybody? Cancel Sam.
Cut the cameras.
Be canceled. Cut the cameras. You said it.
Wow.
Damn, God damn
All
it,
right.
son.
Nah. Hey man, you can't be truthful here. We're gonna be
Okay,
truthful.
I feel you.
That's all
But
we
no,
hear.
I
That's why
mean-
the conversation's sick.
It's sick. It's got a
feel
little
like,
too sick.
Yeah, like, yeah. If they don't want to talk about it, that might just be one of them things that they just don't feel like talking about, right? They might just be like, "Oh, I'm straight." Like, and yeah, I think it depends on how close you are to that person, right? Like I'm straight. It's like, all right, bet. I know you're not straight, but if you don't want to speak on it, bet you don't have to speak on it. Or like, you don't sound straight, bro. Like you said you were straight, but you don't sound straight. But you know what I'm saying? Like, what's good? Like, but I feel like there's different ways you can approach it, or you can just not give a fuck.
That's kind of how I am, honestly. I ain't gonna lie. Like, if you a real close friend, I keep
Right.
asking you.
I mean,
And
I'm
you
not.
just always say like, I'm straight. Cause I feel like me personally, if somebody asks me and like we real cool, I'm gonna tell you. I don't
Yeah.
care. Like if you legit ask me, you can just be asking like, what you say? Oh, what's up?
Right.
How you been? I'm gonna tell you because we close. Now I may not go in depth depending on the response you give me, but the reason why I say I just stopped caring as much, I can explain it why. Cause y'all was looking like, damn, bro. No, but,
How could
'cause,
you
like,
be so
Bro,
heartless?
yeah, because I feel like I've come across some real good friends and I ask like, yeah, bro, how you feel? They be like, I'm cool. But then down the line, they be like, yeah, like I ain't got nobody to really be there for me. Like,
Get the tweeting. Talking
bro,
about, I got
like,
no friends.
Damn, you like, motherfuckers don't really care about me. But I be looking like, when I asked, you said you straight. So,
right.
and like, I'm just a little bit confused. So eventually I'm like, look, if you keep telling me you don't care, but you also saying like you ain't got nobody that's in your corner, and I'm like, I mean, we still cool. Ain't no love lost on my end, but I hope you find somebody you feel like you can vent to at that point. Like maybe I'm not the person for it. I'm not gonna take it personally. Like I said, maybe I just stop caring. Like I'm not that person to you.
So
Which is
as-
perfectly fine.
As a good friend, my rule is ask twice.
Right. I was
If
just
you ain't
about
willing to
say.
talk about a second one,
Yo,
what Bernie Mac say, fuck him. Like, not
I
to
was
be
like-
rude, but because I got my
I'm
own
not gonna
plate
keep
too.
asking you, right?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna keep asking you. I'm gonna hit you with the 2 times. I just asked twice. To me, that's a lot.
Yeah, and I'm not your therapist.
you lied to me
And I'm
twice. Look, you lied to
I'm
me
not
twice.
I'm not your
Therapist.
therapist, and I'm not getting paid for this.
Facts.
Like real talk. So you get as a good friend, I will ask you twice, and then I'm gonna just keep it pushing. Like,
Because Peep, I already asked without you even like saying, "Yo, I gotta come to you right now." Like suggesting that you just emitted an aura that was like, "I'm feeling down." So I already took it there, right? I already took it there one time.
Yeah.
You damn, I'm straight. All right, I'm gonna take it there again. You, man, I'm straight again. All right, you
Say
straight.
less.
Especially if
Guess
it's
you
one of my
straight
niggas, like, especially if it's one of my homies, like one of my niggas, you know, I bet. Guess you straight.
period.
Period.
Okay.
Sub
So
cheating, Sam.
I like that, man. So, final question for me. This is a super dope combo. What if I'm new to this venting thing, as some of us are, right? What if I'm like, yo, I just listened to this podcast, and I guess I need to get some shit off my chest. Like, what advice do y'all have for people who are like new to venting, or people that just don't vent at all? Like, y'all got anything for venting for beginners?
Yo, as a journal. Get a journal. Get a journal. It's gonna be the easiest way because you can vent to yourself first before you even have to step out on that ledge and have to feel uncomfortable with another person, right? You could just instantly turn all that shit, all that negative energy. You could put that shit in the book.
Okay.
Just write that shit out. It just takes some effort, right? Take some effort on your part, right? Which in my opinion, it takes more effort to go and get on that ledge and like talk to a complete stranger about your issues, or maybe it's easy to talk to a complete stranger about your issues because they
easier.
right, exactly, because they a stranger.
And
but
if you tell my business, I'ma sue your ass.
also, we got that client confidentiality.
Real talk.
Come
listen to my fucked upness,
please. But I mean, I feel like like it's way easier to just write it down. But it takes, you gotta accept what you're going through. You gotta accept your issues. You gotta accept your problems. You gotta accept yourself for having those issues and problems. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, the first step is with you, and I think you should just get a journal and write it out, jot it down.
I like that. I like that.
And even once you have that journal and you write everything down, it will be much easier for you to like explain your thought process about like what's going on and how you feel about a certain situation, because you literally just wrote everything down. So it's like there's no question about like how you feel about this or how you feel about that. So I would definitely think starting off writing is important, but I mean, if you feel like you can skip that step and go directly into like expressing yourself openly to someone, whether it's a therapist or a friend, I feel like that's also needed.
Okay. For me, I would say just realizing like it's not a weakness to be able to vent. I feel like we live in a society, especially like all four of us, we black men, and you just view it as a weakness. Like you shouldn't be vulnerable. Exactly. Like you're supposed to be vulnerable. Like I can handle this, but like how are you handling it? Like are you doing it in like the proper way? And sometimes you're not always who you think you are. Like you think you may be like this super tough person, like you super strong all the time. But like, bro, it's not even about being weak. Like you just need to get some feedback, or you need to get something out your chest, which should make you feel a lot better. So I would definitely say realize it's not a weakness, and I think that's the part that might help you accept yourself a little bit more, or accept the situation and open up about it. It makes it a little bit easier at that point.
Hey, those were some gems, man. So I don't really have to say much.
Already.
I will say
Put the parsley on it.
Right, put some parsley on it because the meal has just been cooked.
Right.
But one, if you're gonna get a journal,
Salt Bay that hoe.
don't fucking lie to yourself in your journal.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that is literally the dumbest thing. That's
Ever.
The second dumbest thing you can do is pay for a therapist and lie to them.
Right.
But the first dumbest thing you can ever do is literally
lie to
yourself in your journal.
Right.
You know what I mean? So, like, if you're going to go to journal route, which is very therapeutic, it's very helpful, don't lie. Two, if you're going to go vent to somebody, again, let it be clear. If you need feedback, you just need to get something off your chest. You know what I mean? And if you're the listener, let it be clear if you have capacity to do either of those things in that moment.
Right.
Right? So that neither one of y'all are like inconveniencing or triggering the other.
Yep.
And like lastly, honestly, we gotta just get to it, yo. Like 2020 has been the craziest year in history. I'm naming it. I don't care, and I'm not a historian. We are living through a race war, a civil rights movement, a pandemic. They just announced recently that a new form of the swine flu has been found.
I seen
We
that.
got a
It's
Saharan
June.
dust storm
Right.
that might make it. Like, not to mention the people who've like lost their lives.
Yeah.
Like, yo, then there's some stuff happening with celebrities apparently, and the pedophile ring. It's all types of stuff happening
It's definitely
in
a lot of
our
shit
world today. So like, man, you better get started because you have no idea just how much you really got bottled in.
Get you a drink. Unbottle. Get you a drink.
Open, pop the bottle.
Drink right. Pop them
We
bottles.
will not
Fuck
promote
me.
alcoholism.
What you think in these cups?
It's water in my cup.
All right.
My cup hella empty. This is a prop, bro.
Yo, but I think we're going to go ahead and wrap it there. For all of y'all that don't believe that black men like vent or whatever, this is proof, right? We vent. We just still figuring it out.
Right.
I will say be kind to us, but J. Cole said that and almost got canceled. So with that being said, I want to thank y'all so much for tuning in. This discussion has been sick as hell, and we got more coming.